Hello, everybody. We got another Castle Crashers Customs going here for you, and if you can hear it in my voice, I am sick while I'm recording this. So, don't you? It's only the plague. But I wanted to get another character video completed here for you guys. So today we're going to be going over the Mimic, who has become a personal favorite after his release and everything else, and how much folks seem to have liked him. So I got inspired to do a Mimic because there's like vague D&D elements within Castle Crashers, you know, the Magic Knight world, the items, the certain character classes, barbarian, thief, stuff like that. And I wanted to include probably my favorite D&D creature, which is the mimic. I love mimics. They're a really they could be a really broad creature selection in terms of what can be a mimic, how they function, that kind of stuff. There's something that appeals to me a lot, if you couldn't tell by what's talking to you currently. But when it came to making the mimic for Castle Crashers, I thought it was a no-brainer to make it based off of the chest that's actually in the game, but give it a little bit of trickery. So, besides the lines up here that are where his eyes are located, pretty basic visual I did here is I flipped the keyhole upside down on the mimic, so it looks more like a nostril. And I think that comes across pretty well. You know, you could see in the different versions of him we got here. Got the little lines for his mouth, where his teeth are, some blood stains. And yeah, we'll size him up just so you can see him a little better. But yeah, he's got a lot of personality with the assets I've given him between himself and his shield that is also a mimic. There's a coin on the underside of it that you'll be able to see while he's shielding and doing other sorts of animation movement and whatnot. And I made the sword a mimic as well. I thought that was a no-brainer with the custom weapon idea. I quite like how it came out, and I'll do a little zoom in for you guys just so you can see him better. But look at him. And his teeth, the handles, his big crazy tongue. I love him. I think he came out splendid along with the rest of this guy. I think he's really shining here. And I also just want to show off his barbarian sprite a little bit. I'm just, pretending to be a full human. He's got his head up there and everything. So, yeah, he's got a lot of soul. And then I'm just showing off the thumbnail art here just because I really enjoyed what I came up with for him. Add in the coins and, more of the bones and just this crazy big pile of stuff right here. A little self Easter egg thrown in there right there. Just for some fun. I thought this was a good piece. I like how the thumbnail came out. And now we get to move into the made-up stats for the Mimic Sword. So I kept it kind of casual with this one, just a 343 in some the best stats you could get it in, and then a nice 5% chance to poison since it's a nasty creature. So yeah, I think the poison's a no-brainer to me for the Mimic Sword. I feel like between all the nasty blood and the living creature and all of it, just poison's super fitting in my opinion. But yeah, here's the Mimic in all his glory, and now you're going to be able to see him in action in a second as we swap over to the in-game footage. So we'll be switching over there now. And here we go with some actual footage now. We got the Mimic taking on the Barbarian boss, just because this is the first treasure chest we get access to in terms of the big boss ones. So, having him fighting the guy, showing off his magic. Uh, I use the necromancer magic just because I kind of like the idea that this mimic gets more powerful the more people he consumes, and that manifests in necromantic powers. So I thought that would be pretty sweet to use for a mimic. I don't really remember seeing any mimics with necromancy powers before, so I thought this would be a pretty sweet idea to mess around with in Castle Crashers, and as he's grabbing his loot and showing him what for. He gets to save the princess, and as you see, he gets a little smoochy. So, he's a hero to the world. And now I got him a little extra running around. He's doing some shopping, picking up some sandwiches so you guys can take a look at him while he's beefed out. So now we're going to the classic bouldered off cave at Tallgrass Field, just to show off that beefster form. And look at him. Look at him swinging around in the rain. He's beautiful. So now you get to see him exploring his little cave. And what does he find? Foolish, foolish imitators trying to copy his perfect form. But there's him hiding amongst the treasure chests. And yeah, that'll wrap it up for the Mimic Showcase. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please be sure to check out the character yourselves if you're interested. Give him a download. I hope you like him. He's one of my favorite characters I've created, and I think just in terms of quality and, you know, kind of art direction and concept, I think he's one of my strongest. So I hope you guys enjoy. Be on the lookout for the next video. The next one's going to take a little bit to get done just because it's going to be a bit of a bigger character update that's going to be themed around the troll. So be on the lookout for that. I got a pretty big troll update planned. So I hope you guys will stick around for the next one. I hope you guys have a fantastic night, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.